Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Monday's Market Sitrep. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. It is the 4th of September, so first Monday of the month. And of course, we got not only a fresh month ahead of us, but we're also looking towards the fourth quarter and wrapping up the year 2023. So I think it's a very exciting time because the summer period, we could say, is over now. In other words, July, August, where most, or I suppose many market participants perhaps are not trading or are on vacation or just not participating because other things to do, might be coming back now, and more movement, more volatility, more liquidity will come back to the markets. And we'll get surely some very interesting moves. So whether you have been trading all year, whether you haven't been trading at all, or you're just getting started, I think there's plenty of stuff to learn, to see, and perhaps even to participate in. Of course, on your demo accounts, if you're getting started, that's the recommendation, that you don't risk any capital and you just test out your trading system first. All right, let me see who's online. Hey, Arnold, thank you. Sound is good. Great. Graham is here, Marius and Harun. Hello. Good morning, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, hope you all had a good weekend. And here we are again. One special note for today is that the New York, let me see, I think I have a tab open for this to remind myself. The New York Stock Exchange is closed today because it is Labor Day in the US. In other words, there will be no New York session in the usual sense. The volume there will be missing, which means certain trade entry triggers might just not happen, or probably will not happen. So almost you can count today as a weekend day for the purposes of classifying it as a normal trading day or not. Of course, the London Stock Exchange is open and it's already running. So there will, there can be moves in many assets. Just keep in mind that arguably the most important session, or the highest volume session, will be offline today. So it is kind of a shorter trading week in that sense, in the classical sense. And we could say Tuesday to Friday will be probably the most interesting days. At least that's how I view it. That's how I approach it. I'm not in a rush to enter any trade. I don't think you ever should be. That's usually a recipe for disaster if you are under pressure to achieve something, because that's not the way the markets work. The markets will offer you opportunities when they do, and if you're ready and you're there and you're listening and you're prepared, you'll be able to capitalize on them. And if not, you're gonna miss them, of course. And you don't have to catch them all. Also very important. It's just important that you catch something, that you get your consistent, regular, slowly but surely returns, day after day, or even if it's not day after day, week after week, month after month, And keep in mind that trading is a weird job, It is not a paycheck kind of job where like, at the end of the month, I'm going to get this and that. I'm going to make my 10%, my 20%. Forget that. Some months might be amazing, and other ones you might actually lose money, That's the reality of things. So if you're not prepared for that kind of dynamic, then get ready for it, or go do something else. Not everyone has to trade, There's other things to do in life too. Anyway, I would like to keep that, or make these streams a bit more interactive, because it's I feel like a bit of a frontal lecture most of the time. It's like, wow, this is what I see. And of course, you're here to see, how do I approach the charts? Which tools do I use? This is also covered in our modules, which we have freshly available for you on our Discord and on our website. So these are the same tools that I'm using over and over to come to these conclusions and to analyze the charts. If you want to have a look at that, then go ahead and join us on Discord and check out what we have to offer. But I don't know where I wanted to go with this. Let's just get started, I guess. So the plan today is Bitcoin. It's what you can see right now. Since we're starting a fresh month, that's why I have the monthly candle perspective. Then we're going to cover the S&P 500, the US dollar index, EURUSD I have ready here, gold, and finish up with Ethereum. Yeah, so we start and finish with crypto and the legacy markets, the big boys in between, to have a look at what could be waiting for us there this week. Stay go. Guten Morgen, Doc. Hello, guten Morgen. Wie geht's? Schön, dass du da bist. Yeah. All right. So monthly chart on Bitcoin. As you can see, it's clean. So you're like, what is this guy doing? Why is there a clean chart on his screen? How am I supposed to learn from this? And that's actually the first important lesson. I keep repeating it every time, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of doing so until it's drilled into your heads. There you go with the frontal lecture again. Oh yeah, I wanted this to be more interactive. So if you have questions, thoughts, whatever, just pop them in the chat and we can chat a little bit, yeah? So I'm not only talking to the charts, I'm actually talking with you. That's the point of these streams as well. Not just the weekly preparation. So anyway, yeah, monthly chart, very important to look at it like this because it already immediately tells you, well, what's price been up to this month so far? Well, it's a very young month, 4th day. We had a weekend pretty much. Friday was the first day, Saturday, Sunday. Today is kind of a weekend day as well. So, you don't expect that much to happen. And there it is. We're hanging around the monthly open. Yeah, you can see right there that the candle is pretty much where it started for this month. And of course, last month's candle, this is what we were already covering on Friday's update, on market Sitrep. Last month's candle was quite big in amplitude compared to the previous month, even the ones before. Yeah, so finally some proper movement, you could say, and of course in a very, very volatile move, probably one of the most volatile moves in the year, we could say. We'll see. Maybe there's more to come. But yeah, I think it was like 14% in 4 minutes or something like that. So, the good old crypto slap in the face kind of thing, if you weren't prepared for it. And if you were, well, then great, nice profits. And of course, we can already start drawing conclusions from this. It's like, okay, that was a big fat red candle, but with a nice bounce as well, of course. But where did it close? Yeah, what was the lowest monthly candle close since February 2023? Okay, so that's already a statement. In other words, it's saying, okay, there was no strength up here to keep going. We can use, for example, this little pivot here. I've shown you this a few times already. It's just the low from 2 years ago, from June 2021. And that's the area that was kind of, I claim it, I don't, I claim it, I don't. Claiming this area opens the entire box up here. Yeah, huge range up here to play with. Fantastic. And so far, it looked like it might have a chance to do that here in April. Not so much anymore in May. But then June came along and you're like, okay, fine. Yeah, we're pushing higher again. Highest monthly close. Good. Monthly candle close. July, okay, pulled back, but was still holding this monthly level area. Except that it did. Let me see. I'm going to have to check this again. It's been a while. Just for fun before I say something that's not true. Oh, yeah, exactly. So you see, it's just by a little bit, but actually July's monthly candle closed below that monthly level of 29.2. That's not so cool. Yeah. To backtest the level means visit it, but close the candle above. And it didn't do that. It closed it below. In other words, you then have to switch and say, all right, if you're closing below that monthly level, that means if the following month you go up and then turn around, in other words, lose the monthly open and turn the candle red, then it's more bearish. Yeah, it is weak. It is weak to do something like that. So at the latest, when that happened, up first, down, flip the monthly open, you can start thinking, that's not so cool. It's losing support, it's losing support, it's losing support, and the push up is not strong. Of course, this is just, we're looking at a monthly candle chart. Hello, Joseph. And there's a whole bunch of other tools that we also use, also for day trading especially, like order flow analysis, where you can see, like with your own eyes. It's not subjective and I'm drawing here, I'm drawing there. You can actually see market participants entering at the wrong places, getting absorbed, and yeah, you can already see how everything starts to click in for a move down like this. Yeah. So anyway, the move down happened, and here we are down here. So now we have abandoned this little range up here. What this is saying is I did not have enough power to continue higher, and here it is lower. Is it a good idea then to short when it's this low? Well, that's That's another question. Ideally, you try to short as high as possible and you try to long or buy as low as possible, you know, just to keep it in mind. So yes, bearish statement, but not necessarily means, oh, I have to sell right now. Let's look at a few more things. Let me pop some monthly levels. There you go. Boo. That's pretty much all of them. We don't need the higher and lower ones. So we don't need this one right here. It's too far away. Let's just focus on these three. Excuse me, because they're closer and more relevant. The one that was lost as support, the recent one, was 27.2. That's that one. Yeah. So this monthly candle has closed below it, clearly, clear as day, much clearer than this one here. And that could be in the books too. Travel back up here, fail at this area because it's resistance. Of course, 28K. Oh, I think I've been mentioning this one for months. That point of control. Even that could be reached and backtested as resistance, which has already happened in the previous month. Yeah. And price drops back down again. So that could be an option. So we could already start saying this is our larger range to play with from 30K, 30,400 to 23. That would be the one below this little wick. And you can already see that this used to be a monthly level here, or is from back here as well. So it's not the first time that price had something interesting there. Lose this monthly level, and then you can start playing with this lower part of the chart. Now I'm actually going to draw it so you can see it better. Yeah, so this is one chunk. This we can say is another big chunk, which of course we can subdivide with other things. That's what we're going to do. That's the point of all this. But just to get a bit of an overview of where we're at and where we could be going. All right. So is that good? Yeah, let's leave it at that. Yeah. You can already see what last week's candle did. Yeah, it tried to get up here and that's where it rejected from. Yeah, that's the point of control up here. How do I get that? Well, you just use the fixed range pull, 2 clicks, and there you go. There's your point of control, that little red line in the middle. Now I can turn off the other one so you can see it better. If you know what this tool is, then just come on over on Discord and check out the module that covers this. It's a very, very simple to use tool with just 2 clicks. Yeah, well, simple to click it on, but not so simple to decide, you know, which range to pick. Yeah, that takes a bit of time and practice to decide what's important and what's not. But for example, this pull is a very nice one that I've been using for quite a while. And an important aspect that you should keep in mind is that it should have respect on the value areas. And you can see that these are very nice support resistance flips, like here and also here. Yeah. So already with this little fixed range pull, and of course the point of control, I mean, that was just beautiful. That's just beautiful. A push out of nowhere, squeezes up the shorts. Yeah, squeeze every short position from down here gets kicked out, closes. And then at the point of control, it's Ende Gelände, yeah? Aus die Maus. No more, you're not going further. So when you can check out this stuff on XAUUSD, for example, on order flow software, then it's very, very interesting to see, okay, that move is weak. The price up there is getting stuck and there's only more weakness and all longs are getting absorbed and it then flips back down. Yeah? And of course, you can start getting into fancy stuff like TPO, you know, time price opportunity, double distribution setups and filling single prints and all that good stuff. We also have modules on that. And that just gives you a nice heads up for the move back down. Yeah. So, oh, I missed the move up. Oh, don't worry. The move back down is coming too. Yeah. Or the next move up. It really doesn't matter. In any case, long story short, fixed range pull, very nicely respected. So that can already help you subdivide the entire chart or the price action into little segments. And you can start making statements for yourself and say, okay, what kind of a bias am I looking for this week? Well, that's the point I was trying to make before about the shorting right now. Do you really want to short here at a level or area that has obviously been support for quite a while now? And even though it has been attacked multiple times, so far still holding a support. It's possible to do so, yes, but it's just a bit more difficult than if, for example, you're saying, okay, well, this is being flipped to resistance. Do you see how different that is? Yeah, this has been holding a support like this. These are daily candles, by the way. It gets flipped to resistance, and then we spend a ton of time down here failing to go higher. That's a place where you're like, okay, well, that's a very, very nice, you know, support to resistance flip there. Yeah, I can think about a short. You know, anything that doesn't go above the highs, even though it's a bit obvious with these stop losses, okay. And I can look for a range rotation to here, right? So if this is a range, well, then the next thing is to expect a range rotation up to here, theoretically, right? That's why the get-go or the go-to reaction to seeing any chart with price at an area like this is to say we're at support. Why would I get bearish at support? That makes no sense. Of course, there are exceptions, exceptional situations, but in general, it's not a good idea to think like that. You know, you have to make your own conclusions, make your own statistics, and see what works for you and what doesn't. But that's how I'm approaching it. Yeah. So the first thing I think is, okay, nice move down. Capitalized on that. Fantastic. Great. Congratulations. But let's see, how much was this? 8%. I mean, it's great. Yeah. And now we're just chilling in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, you could say. Yeah. It's at support, but it's obviously not doing anything special. Plus, today is still kind of a weekend day because of what I mentioned about the New York Stock Exchange being closed. In other words, anything that happens today and yesterday and Saturday, all this weekend stuff can get erased in one real legacy trading day, so to speak. So let's see what tomorrow brings. That's what I'm most interested in. Anyway, that's yeah. I'm just trying to show you how powerful these things are. Even though they might seem simple, you can get so much information for this, and you don't need any lines to confuse yourself and paralyze your thoughts with too many things in too many lines. That's what I keep telling my the guys and gals on the team or on at Safehouse. Don't overcomplicate your analysis. Yeah, boil it down to one line if you can for that day. Yeah, what's your most important level today? What's your most important area? Just make a decision. Yeah, and keep that, and the rest is in your head anyway. Yeah, you don't need to clutter up your chart. These weekly levels are very nice too, untapped and untapped, higher and lower, but way higher and way lower. And as another reference point, you can say, well, here's a little weekly level. Yeah, that's from back here. Of course, it's been trading through multiple times, so you don't expect any magic off of it. It's more of a kind of a statement or kind of an orientation thing. Yeah, this is your little range here with a deviation to the top, another deviation to the top. Of course, there are weeks and weeks and weeks of deviating. And this is a separate range. Yeah, and that's the connecting candle there. So there can be another connecting candle to bring us down to this range. That's one of the options. Or if it can manage to hold support, then we're back in this little box. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, we can already subdivide our range into even more boxes. You say, well, if I'm not supposed to short here, but this is super weak, then how do I do it? Well, you wait for this to start doing what it did up here. You see that? Weekly level of resistance created, back tested, and move down. So wait for weekly candles to close down here, to back test this area as resistance, and move down. And then your invalidation is easy peasy. Yeah. You don't want price to go up there anymore after something like this happens. So in other words, what you're looking for is a nice risk-reward ratio, a nice story to go along with it. Yeah, not just a guess, but an actual bunch of data in front of your face that is irrefutable. So for example, in this week in mid-August, you see the push higher, you see price going back down here and losing that weekly level. You can say, all right, you know what? I'm going to go for a swing trade, short, stop loss above the high that we just made. Now, there's no reason to go up there again. And let's see if we can get to the other weekly level, which was this one at the time. Yeah, untap, boom. Something like that. Of course, there's other levels, monthlies, tra-la-la. You can take profits along the way. But ideas like that. So in this case, for a long position, it would be the opposite. Some sort of a nice low has to be created now, this week. And whatever that is, we can use as a stop. Right now, it would be these two, for example. And then you look the other way, and just rotate within the range, for example. But like I said, I'm just gonna wait to see what tomorrow brings, Tuesday, when we're back online, so to speak. Okay, so that's the weekly levels and how I use them to help my analysis. Ooh, Sam posted a question. I'm gonna get to it right away. I'm just gonna pop on some dailies here. This is our more local range. So you can also say, all right, if we're stuck here for a while, is there anything I can do with that? The answer is absolutely yes, you can. Same thing, fixed range pull, clack, clack, click, click. I'm not including the drop volume, just whatever's in here, including this deviation up here. And of course, daily levels. Daily levels are very, very nice too, especially for day trading. That's why they're called daily levels. Ha ha. No, that's not what they're called, daily levels, but they're useful for day trading. And so I'm going to get the highest and the lowest. Actually, let me turn this off for a second. There we go. That's our highest untapped. Yeah, so this is definitely a pending assignment. Price did not quite reach this. And this has, ooh, that's a little front run. Yeah. Yeah, that's, what is this? Friday to Saturday, Sunday, exactly. Low volume settings. So these, it would have been much nicer to tap the level and then start turning around. Yeah, so these things might not actually play out or complete as usual when there's a when there's a low volume setting going on. On the other hand, hey, if today or tomorrow price goes down again and actually hits the daily level, then much better. Yeah, you stop out all the long positions from now, from yesterday, and maybe even from Saturday. So everybody that entered a long position on the weekend gets stopped out, and then price moves. Yeah, same thing over and over and over on every single asset. It's always the same thing. Before the big move comes, everybody gets stopped out, and then you go, well, everybody gets stopped out so that someone else can enter. Always remember, when you get stopped out, someone else is entering, thanks to you. And yeah, so I would definitely keep those two daily levels in mind as a reference point of, okay, that's my little local range to play with. Yeah. Oh, this was a nice one. This is, if you remember from 2 years ago, what is it? 21, 2, 3, 3, 4, I don't know, many years ago. The Bart pattern. Yeah, we made a video on this. We made a public video. We have a module about it as well. What it actually means. Yeah, this is not. This is a very clever mechanism of price action, and it is absolutely not exclusive to Bitcoin. Yeah, this is also to be seen in the legacy markets. And there is a mechanic behind this. You can see how it evolves. You can see how it starts reversing. And I mean, it's beautiful. It's a very high probability situation where you can, with relatively low risk, make some very nice profits. Paper trading on your demo account, of course, right? Good. So anyway, plenty of opportunities to be had if you're patient enough. So if you were entering any positions around here, well, you probably are stopped out by now. Yeah, so it's better to wait for nice moves like this one. And now we're back at where? Point of control. Yeah, so there's no way that I'm going to enter a position close to a point of control. This is a nice take profit area. But for me to be interested in anything, you have to go away from the fair value, away from the point of control. Get away from here. This is useless for me, yeah, to be around here. It just means I am starving for liquidity. I cannot move. Nobody's interested in buying or selling. We're just at a deadlock. That's what the point of control means, yeah? And that's not an area for a trader, okay? This is an area where you can exit positions, baiting, or at least that's how I use it. Do whatever you want. No financial advice. What is more interesting? Well, I'm just going to take a wild guess. Any long positions that have opened here have their stop loss here. Raise your hand if that's the case for you. And if that's the case for you, well, think about what's going on here. Now, what did I just tell you? Your stop loss will serve as the entry for someone else. Okay? So there's one. There's another place to put your stop loss for longs. And there's another much farther one. Yeah, but these are the local ones that are very obvious. So that already starts giving me a heads up. It's like, okay, fine. If that's where a lot of people might, who knows, but might be putting their stop loss like there or there. Yeah, below this level, then wouldn't it be interesting to enter a position if price goes down here, for example, stops people out, aggressive shorts open because they're convinced that finally this wick is going to give me a fill the gap kind of thing. Yeah, fill the wick. Instead, price stops, gets absorbed, all the selling gets absorbed, and starts climbing back up here. Yeah? That would be a nice swing failure pattern. That's already a trade idea, but it's not something that I preset or can, well, you can preset it if you want, but you know, price can also just go like this. Yeah, that's why you have to wait. Wait. Trading is about waiting, not about entering and exiting trades. Anybody can do that, but waiting, most people cannot do that. And that's why most people lose money, because they can't wait for things to happen. So that would be a very nice option. Yeah. So you see, first thing I've looked for is get away from the point of control, give me an extreme situation, get me traders doing the wrong thing in the worst place possible, and then I can fade the move. Possibly, if certain criteria are met. Smash that like, boys and girls. Yes, smash the like button. It's a public stream, so it does help. And let me answer some questions now. I've been talking for a while. So it's Sam GTC saying, hi, Victor. I've noticed that we've been primarily relying on the chart of an asset, but in the past few days, Bitcoin's moves seem to be closely tied to news events. Haha. Oh, my friend. I'm going to tell you something that I have not made up. I did not come up with this. This has been around at least for 100 years, if not hundreds of years. Yeah. Go back to the Amsterdam Stock Exchange opening in the 1600s. News events are late. News events are late. Yeah. Most of the time when you see a news event and an explanation for why this and that happened, it is somebody that doesn't understand what's actually going on, trying to make up a story to explain what's going on. Yes, because the sky was blue and the sun was at this angle, then we had a price movement. That's what it kind of sounds like to me nowadays when I read those news. It wasn't always like that. Yeah, I used to think, oh my God, that sounds like it could happen. Oh yeah, that does have an influence on it. Oh wow. But to be honest, the news events that you speak of are late. Yeah, they're late. If you are referring to, I think I covered this already. The economic calendar, that is a very useful tool. Because, and depending on how you set it, I think I already covered this, and I think we have a little public module about that too. So you can click on these things and see, okay, in Australia, interest rate decisions, blah, 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 blah. If you're referring to these for a trader, or at least for me, are very nice volatility spikes. In other words, you have no idea where price is going to go. Okay, just face it. You don't know what's going to happen next, and you never do. But when price gets going, like for example here, let's just pretend that this was a news event. You know, sometimes it happens on the legacy markets, especially, and Bitcoin is just sleeping. That's the way it is. But let's say price just shoots out of nowhere. Look, it didn't even go for the lows. It just went. Fine. Is the trade here along? No, of course not. The trade is up here. When price gets to wherever it wants to go and then starts failing, and you start seeing reckless behavior by market participants, that is interesting. So the news events are just catalysts for volatility. That's all. Yeah, that's all. And your second part is Bitcoin movements seem to be closely tied to news events. To be honest, Bitcoin has been sleeping on some of these news events while other assets were moving very, very nicely. Yeah, that's why I don't only trade crypto. I trade other assets, and actually more than crypto lately, because crypto has been very often sleeping, you know, not doing anything, where others are giving setups and entry triggers up and down all day, or at least a couple times a day, depending on what you're looking for. So the news events, oh my God, the halving, oh my God, this, oh my God, that, that's toss it in the trash. Etsy Koda, yeah, made a nice song about this, the legendary market wizard trader. What does it say? News events, toss them right in the bin. You don't need the news events. It's just a distraction. It's noise, yeah? But you can use these volatility spikes by some numbers being published, for example, to your advantage. Yeah. Actually, let's have a look at what's next. September 6th at 4. Okay. Unemployment rate. No, that's Canada. There we go. September 13th. This will be a nice one. Yeah. So I can already tell you September 13th. Yeah. This is not magic or anything. Everybody knows this. September 13th, you've got core inflation rate, inflation rate. You've got 4 different big fat numbers coming out. If you want to know what they mean, you just click on them here on TradingView. It's super duper nice. Unless they don't explain. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's a little explanation. FOFI effect. Yeah, how about that? So you can see what that's about. So for example, September 13th, 14:30, that's my local time. So that's UTC 12:30. UTC, so GMT time, 12:30. Yeah, 12:30 noon. You'll see. Very, very likely, maybe nothing happens, but very likely that you're going to get one of those volatility spikes that stops everyone out. So that's how I use news events. Sam GDC's next question. Whenever it moves, it's usually in reaction to news. Is this healthy for the chart? Why isn't price moving in a more typical manner? Thank you so much. Price is moving in an absolutely typical manner. Price is moving exactly the way it should be all the time in all markets. It's just that you don't understand it. And I'm not saying I understand it all the time. Sometimes I'm also like, what? What was that? But that's okay. The market is always talking to you. The market is always saying, hey, buddy, look at this. Look at that. I'm offering this. I'm offering that. Do you want this? Do you want that? So all you have to do is listen and say yes, no, no, yes, no. So you pick when you play, how long you play for, and when you stop playing, and when you take a break. You're in control of everything. That's the beauty of trading. You don't have a boss. You're the boss. But that means you carry the responsibility for every single trade. It's not my fault. It's not YouTube blah blah or Twitter hee hee. It's you. You are the one that's taking every single trade. So it will always be your fault and not the news fault and not the chart's fault and not the market's fault. The sooner you realize this, the better you can start making progress. So it is moving in a typical manner. You just haven't understood it yet. In other words, keep watching, keep recording, keep observing. And at some point you'll see that it always moves the same way. Always. The same dynamics over and over for hundreds of years, man. Crypto is a baby in this scene. It's only been around for 10 years. The rest have been around for hundreds of years, all right? And it always moves the same way because people always do the same stuff. And that's it's not just for trading, man. You can see this on all walks of life, yeah. And okay, I hope that answer was helpful. Yeah, I'm not trying to be condescending or arrogant or anything. I'm just trying to give you as many golden nuggets as I can. Healthy or not healthy for the chart? Yeah, you know what's healthy. You know, retracing to the golden pocket always makes sense. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Jeff, hi doc. Hey Jeff, what would you suggest to someone who only have 1 or 2 hours trading during NY Open? Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. That's the only 1 or 2 hours that you need to find or to actually enter or get an entry trigger for a possible trade setup. I'm guessing you probably have a full-time job, so it's difficult for you to pay attention to the markets. Maybe you're leaving for work after that. Yeah, so maybe you live in the US, and then you can watch like the beginning, and then you have to go. Okay, it makes it tougher. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, when I was working and trying to trade, and then working part-time and then trying to trade, it's difficult. You will miss a ton of setups. You will not be able to participate in day trade setups most of the time. So you only have swing trading. In other words, trades that you go hold for days, for weeks. Those are the ones that you can actually participate in, yeah, because you're not interested in these little intraday moves. Like this range for you is pretty much, well, it's not useless, but it's not as helpful as the weekly levels, for example, or the monthly levels. That's much more helpful. So if you do have 1 or 2 hours of trading during New York Open, that's fantastic, yeah, because you can record so much information. You can learn so much just from what's happening there. And I'm telling you, I've been to trading conferences and people will close their trades before that because they are afraid. They are afraid of the volatility. Yeah, I've seen traders with 20 years of experience on a stage, messing around all day, pre-New York session, taking suboptimal trades, I'm going to say. And when the good times come, they close the trades and say, let's just wait because I'm not sure what's going to happen. And I'm just thinking, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? 20 years doing what? What have you been doing? Breakout trading? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing. So if you can be around for that time, that's great. That's really, really great. Super exciting. And even if you don't understand it, that's fine. That's fine. It's like everything you learn in life. You need time to actually process the information and getting used to it. So if you do have that time, please watch the assets that you're interested in. Make notes. Hey, this went this way. Then the numbers came out at 230 and that happened. But then in New York Open and then that happened and then that happened. And write it down and write it down. And all of a sudden, after a while, you'll have a nice pattern of statistics and be like, oh, when this happens and that happens, there's a probability of that happening. And if I can put my Fib retracement, my horizontal level, my fixed range, and then I add maybe one more or two more factors. I got 5 factors coming together. Boom, high probability chance. No guarantees, of course, but definitely. What does New York have to say? That's why I keep saying that. Yeah, definitely great that you have that opportunity. Don't see it as oh my God, I only have that time, but thank goodness I have that time, specifically that time. That's great. And of course, you're gonna need extra time. I don't know where you're going to find it to prepare for that time. Yeah. In other words, if you actually want to participate, you can't come into the New York session and be like, okay, what do I do now? No. Hours before, you have to know exactly what you want to do and where. You have to know it exactly. And if that happens, then you enter. If it doesn't happen, you don't enter. Period. Yeah. Very, very important. Oh, thank you, Enza. Thank you, guys. Yeah, just trying to, I don't know, I just feel inspired to do a little bit different and not just here's the levels and blah, blah, blah. I think this information is much more useful to help you in the long run in the end. Should we keep going though? Because it's 41 minutes already on the stream. We got a lot to cover still. Okay, so let's leave it at that for Bitcoin now. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. Jump to the next one and see that we finish covering the rest. What did I prepare here for you? This is the S&P 500 Wanda chart. You can use different charts, of course. The S, for example, the Chicago futures. Yeah, clean chart. After a while, you're going to notice that, okay, here's a move down, there's a move back up, and that looks to be an area that repeats over and over. Yes, of course. That's the golden pocket area right there with a 786 behind it, which is also very nice. I also like it. So if this is, once again, whatever asset, just doesn't even matter. So this asset is moving between this area down here at around 4,300 and this area up here around 4,500. So what do? You set up your little, your horizontal levels. There's a no monthly level. There's a fresh monthly level. There's a weekly and a daily at the bottom. So you have a clear bottom down here and a clear top up here and something in the middle. Yeah. So you say, all right, show me what's in here. And you can already see highest transaction interest was down here, which is more bullish. Yeah, you have a lot of transaction interest down here, and price stayed above and bounced, rotated to the top of the range, which is where it is right now. It's at this value area high. In other words, ooh, that's a big high volume node on that daily level. Ooh, I don't know if you can see because it's a bit darker, but damn, this is like number 2. Yeah, it's number 2. Oof. So that could become the new point of control. Oh, so now we're missing. What are we missing, Marius? What's missing here? The New York session. Yes. I don't want to put you on the spot, but you know it already. This area, if this becomes the new point of control and price stays below it, becomes bearish. A lot of transaction interest up here, a lot of longs buying at the wrong place, arguably. And you can have a rotation back down the range. Okay? But in order for me to know whether this works out or not, I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. Because the New York Stock Exchange is closed today for Labor Day. So I'm planning ahead what I want to do on Tuesday at 2:30 my time. For example, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Yeah, those 1 to 2 hours that Jeff was talking about. You better believe it. No, but on a more serious note, these are the areas that get interesting if certain data comes in. If not, it's, of course, price can go up here. Oops, let me draw that. Up here, backtested a support, up here, backtested support, and just claim everything and the monthly and react and just keep trucking like a beast. Absolutely. It's been doing it for 150 years. Of course it can do that. But locally speaking, there's no way I'm longing here. Why would I do that? That's silly. With this available data, there's a daily level and it's being backtested as resistance. Please, that's not my trading system. That's not the way it works for me. Why? Because I have statistics. I know that what works and what doesn't with higher or less higher probabilities. That's why I'm saying record everything that you can. Yes, New York. All right, so this is at resistance. What do I expect for this week? Well, I don't know. Let me pop on the weekly candle and a pullback. There you go. Does that mean it can't go up first? Oh, of course it can. Even better if it does, because then it hits the old monthly level, the 786, takes out everybody's stop loss from last week, and then moves down. Absolutely. I will be all over that if that happens. But I don't have the data now. So what can you do? Well, if you're in long positions from here, this now for 4 days has given you a chance to take profits. 4 days. I mean, it's not like it's happening fast, guys. Even if you are working a full-time job, you have 4 days of time to say, ooh, we seem to be at resistance. That's what you can say. Okay, let me just cash out a little bit. No financial advice. And let's see what happens next. Do we go higher? Okay, I'll find another entry. No worries. No worries. So that's the, we're going to use that as an overview for the stock market, and for the NASDAQ, it's probably going to be similar. Okay. But just for the sake of time, since I've been going a bit too long, yeah, we'll update you during the week on Discord, of course, as usual, with the charts and everything, and the opening bell on Wednesday, where we look at this together. Yeah. So the opening bell is, well, you guys know it. The guys that are already participating, we look at exactly those 1-2 hours that Jeff is talking about. Exactly that time where things can get interesting. We look at it together and see if we find some possible trade setups for our demo accounts. Right? US dollar index. This is a weekly chart. So far this week it's pulled back a little bit. And yes, it is a monthly level of resistance. It's trying to claim it. It did manage to close last week's candle above it. Yeah, we can zoom in a little bit. And you can see that already, right there. Just right above it. So this could be a process of, pulling back a little bit, but in the end, pushing higher. Now, if this one starts pushing higher, that's interesting. If this actually manages to stay up here, flip this to support and start pushing higher, I'm not only talking about, these local highs here, because that's another option. That's something you need to keep in mind. This has been, that's pretty much been the range that this has had. Yeah, this low is of course a little bit suspicious because it's a lower low, so it confirms the bearish downtrend. However, if you start going for these highs and these highs and these highs, oopsie, you do have a big fat range. You could have, of course, another deviation to the upside, also possible. But if this thing really gets going, you can see that in here is empty spaces. Yeah, okay. This could swiftly go up as much as it swiftly went down. So this is something to keep an eye on, very slow, let's take it nice and easy. But right now it's a resistance. Yeah, so same principle as always. If you're in a long position, of course, this is the US dollar index. So something inverse would be, for example, the EURUSD. So if you are in a EURUSD short, right, because it's the inverse of this, then this could be a place to take profits and see what happens next. No financial advice. This is the EURUSD chart, though. And this is the weekly candles. I mean, last week, ouch, that looks terrible. It takes out the previous week high, it gets slapped in the face, loses the point of control, loses the weekly open, and closes down here. That's just terrible. It looks terrible. And this week so far is just chilling there. But yeah, let's see. So from it is support. It's fine. It's 786, at least from this pull. Yeah. Let's see the bigger one. Yeah, that's nice. 106.888. I like that. That monthly level has just been like, and there's a weekly in front of it too. So it's like, oh, come on, just go. It has flipped the value area high to resistance. It has moved down to the point of control. It has now flipped the point of control to resistance. Why should I not expect a rotation to the value area low? That's what ranging does, right? Well, you can say, well, Victor, this is in a bullish uptrend. Yes, you are correct. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This could be the next higher low, and we push up again, and the dollar goes back down. Absolutely possible. So getting super bearish down here, not so cool. If you did it somewhere up here where it lost the value area high, then it makes sense. Then you have yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 full-time job, but on a swing short trade, you made nice profits. Yeah. So that's the kind of time perspective you need, Jeff, if you only have limited time, high time frame. The low time frame is going to drive you nuts. Now, that's only for crazy day traders like me and some others. If you don't have time for that, then just focus on the higher time frame. So I have to say, locally I'll take whatever it comes, but I would really, really like to see lower, just from a range rotation perspective. That's the euro. Let's see what gold is up to. Ooh. So far, this is the monthly candle. So you can already see that I have these 3 monthly levels. On a very, very high time frame, Jeff, you can already see that gold has struggled historically to get past 2K. No? Just like Ethereum. Who's going to get there first? We'll see. And historically, or at least in the recent, 3 years, it has found support around the 1600, 1700 area. Yeah. Like down here and here. And now we're here. We're closer to the top. In other words, a bit closer to resistance than to support. Just as a general thingy. Of course, that's very high time frame, so we can subdivide it into something smaller, more recent. There's your recent monthly levels available. And same process, yeah? Start breaking down the chart, see where the weekly levels, where the daily levels are, see where the volume is, and see what's what. See what is what. See what is what. Oops, not that one. Let's take this one for now. So this is a very extreme high pivot, right? This is the high that took all the stop losses up here and then started the reversal that brought us all the way down here. And this is the low that brought us all the way back up here. That's why I'm picking those pivots, right? Super extreme pivots. Oh, are you shocked? I hope not. This is a normal place. See, Sam? Gold, $11 trillion market cap. This is not Bitcoin. This is not crypto. Yeah, but same things. It is not surprising to see price come back to here. So if this is a bearish downtrend still, which it is, yeah, that's where you have to think about, well, if you're in a long from here and here, might as well take profits, yeah? Or protect your capital because we don't know what's next. Can it blast through and push higher? Absolutely. And it can go for new highs and go back to 2K. Yeah. It's all possible, man. It's all possible. I'm just saying that for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we're still stuck here. And I'm only using one tool. Imagine if I can add more tools to this, yeah? The chances keep going up. So gold is at an area of resistance. What do you expect? Well, a pullback. Pullback to where? Haha. To a level of support, obviously. For example, where's my monthly levels? For example, that monthly level, 1919. Why? Because it's attempting to flip it to support. So why can't it go back down here? Ooh, you forgot to backtest this daily level. Oh, the weekly is very low. Yeesh. Yeah. So let's see what kind of volume. Let's take all of this just for fun. Oh my. Ooh. That's a big fat point of control right there. How many? Oh, that's basically the year. That's the entire year. That's the yearly point of control right there. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice to hit that, huh? I'm not gonna lie. But so far the golden pocket is resistant. So, you know, as much as you want it or not want it, if you can't get there, you can't get there. But that would be interesting. Now, of course, that 786 with the monthly level up here, also very cool. Yeah, but these are, you know, thinking ahead for possible short positions. If it doesn't already reject from this one here, which of course we can zoom in and say, well, what arguments do I have here? Do I have anything? Yeah, of course you do. You have a daily level here that is pretty much exactly the same daily level as the one that was made here. So it's a double whooper. And that's what it's kind of fighting against right now. Claiming it, not claiming it. So far, no. Yes, we'll see. Yeah, of course, if it can start solidifying above here, then we can look for a rotation up to the monthly. And there's a point of control. Then, you know, there's tasty stuff here too. And it's also a daily level too. Okay. If not, then down to the other one. So you can already subdivide the chart into smaller chunks to possibly trade. Yeah. Chunk up here, if it can get back in, if it flips this to resistance, chunk down here, for example. Then the next chunk to the value area low, etc., etc. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. If not, just throw us a question. Let's wrap it up with Ethereum then. The last one I have for you today. This is the weekly chart. Once again, this is Jeff's time perspective or Jeff and anyone that has limited time options. What can we conclude from this? Let me just turn this Phoebe off. What can you conclude from this? This is a big pull, first of all, 16th of May until now. So a lot of data. The more data, the stronger. It is very useful because price has been reacting. This is Ethereum USD, by the way, very nicely off of this area. Look at that. Oh, look at the interaction here. Look at the rejection here. This we can consider a backtest. Yeah. So these are very interesting areas. In other words, what is this? 2K, like gold, and 1350-ish. Okay. And of course, the point of control, also an interesting area. By the way, there's a secondary point of control like right here where price is right now. That could be a possible point of control if price stays here for longer. Anyway, important area here too. So now the question is, lose this 1566-ish area? Well, then that's your next place to go. So you're like, okay, well, I don't know. Is that going to happen? Is that not going to happen? I'm not sure what to do. If you're not sure what to do, don't do anything. Keep watching. If we pull a fib from the lowest pivot possible to the highest possible, well, that now I have a golden pocket and a value area low lining up. That's 2. Yeah, the more factors, the better. So a rotation on the higher time frame down here would not be super bearish. It would not be crazy. And it would be quite normal and fit typical market movements. Just to go back to Sam's point. Yeah. News, no news. The news will be the catalyst that maybe get it going. Of course, it's a bigger move to the downside. Yeah. So market concept should be 16%. Well, for crypto, it's not that much. 16% is like, it's okay. As we have seen, can be done in 4 minutes, right? All it takes is 4 minutes. Range for 2 weeks and drop in 4 minutes. Yeah. Talk about crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you on that one. But in any case, that's a possibility to keep in mind. You know? Best place to short. Well, right there, man. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. I mean, it's not the only thing that was up there, right? Just taking highest pivot available. Look at that. Boop, to lowest pivot available. Yeah, that one. Just going to extend it. Look at that. Boop. You see? That's the kind of stuff you have to look for. So now we just seem to be stuck in the middle of nowhere. Go lower, go higher. Yeah. Get us some movement. Maybe this point of control is already is going to hold. Maybe we never revisit this week. Maybe we never go down here. Could be. Yeah, absolutely. But be prepared. All right. That was a big load of information. We're reaching the 1 hour mark, so I don't want to take up more of your time. I thank you very much for tuning in. I hope it was helpful for you to not just help you prepare the week, but perhaps help you prepare your trading career for the next decades. Yeah. Whatever happens this week can be interesting. We can profit from it. Maybe it goes well, maybe it doesn't. But what do you do for the next 10, 20, 30 years? That's also important. Yeah. Everything that you're learning, if you're getting into trading, is not just for this week. It's for the next decades. It's a skill set that you can use for life, and no one can take that away from you once you've learned it. Yeah. So I hope this was helpful in getting you there. Did we cover everything? Yeah. I mean, I can't cover everything. I could probably talk for like 2 more hours or 3 or 4, but I hope that at least you have some ideas. I hope it helped you, sort out some of your stuff and perhaps inspired you to try this tool, that tool. If you want more, of course, just join us on Discord. There's more updates. George is posting his updates as well on a daily basis. We have daily streams like this one, where we're going to go, of course, tomorrow, especially more in detail into the day trading price action, order flow, all that good stuff that helps you take those quick trades during the day, not just the high time frame like most of the stuff was now. So yeah, we're going to cover that. And we can just answer your questions there as well. Alrighty. Let me see if anyone else has anything to say. No. Victor is always explaining things that a new trader and more experienced trader knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. I don't know. I always try to say things that I wish somebody had told me from day one. That's how I try to do it. Yeah. I mean, it took a lot of running against the wall and falling down and getting back up again to actually start understanding things. And maybe that's a process that nobody can avoid. But at least if you have a little bit of help when you fall, it doesn't hurt as much and you're more motivated to get up again. Yeah, that's kind of the goal here. To keep you motivated to keep going. Yeah. If you really like what this is about, I mean, this is a lot of chart time. You spend a lot of time in front of the charts. It's not like, oh, I'm going to, Jeff was saying, well, if I have 1-2 hours, New York government, great. But the preparation time It's much more than that. And you're going to have to find the time somewhere. Either you start working part-time or you stop sleeping at night, which I don't recommend, obviously, because the less you sleep, the worse your cognitive Leistung, your performance is going to be. You're just going to start making huge, you're just not going to be able to process new information. So you do need your sleep. You do need your exercise. You need to eat healthy, the same stuff everybody needs to have a high quality of life. Or the ideal stuff at least. So you do need that. So you do have to find time somewhere to plan out your charts. Yeah, this daily routine. I've been asked that too. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? Well, could take maybe half an hour and it could take 2 hours. It depends on how much new stuff I'm checking out. Or sometimes I'll just get lost in little, oh, look at this. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, let's try this. Oh, let's combine it with that. Oh, let's check the other one. Yeah, so that it can take hours and hours and hours of just playing around and seeing, okay, that I like very much. And that's in the end. The rest of the time, I just wait for that to come, price to get to that level. And then I can decide, oh, do I want to play or not? Okay. Great streamer. Thank you, Victor. You're welcome, Sam. Thank you. Danke dir für den guten Stream. Der neue Friday-Stream am Montag. Ich hab's vermisst. Exactly. That's not a Friday morning update anymore. It's a Monday public Sitrep. Yeah. And for free. How about them apples? Mm-hmm. I hope they're tasty. But if you want more apples, we also have more apples. It's up to you. Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you very much. Vielen Dank, dass ihr da wart. Hat mich gefreut. It was fun. And I'll see you on Discord, I guess. Okay. Have a good week. And it's totally fine to take it easy today and see what tomorrow brings. I think tomorrow might be even more interesting than today. At least that's how I'm approaching it. Alrighty. Take care. Bye bye. Tschüss. Adios. Hasta la próxima.